Welcome to the only daily research news video, your research business daily report. Well, we're sponsored today and this week by Socratic Technologies, whose proprietary tools and methodologies tackle marketing complexities so that you can make more confident business decisions. First of all, we wanted to thank everybody for helping us celebrate our second anniversary last week, and also for the interesting comments we received about how to boost viewership on this video report. All were very much appreciated. The New York Times' latest quarterly financials were made public last week, and they continue to show growth in digital subscriptions, but at the same time, nowhere enough digital revenue from subscriptions and advertising to come close to making up for yet another drop in its print advertising. As I remark all the time, if the New York Times and Wall Street Journal can't figure out how to adequately monetize their digital business, what hope is there for the rest of print media? It's going to take huge increases in digital readership, plus the metrics that definitively demonstrate viewers' engagement in order to make that work. And that brings us to media site Upworthy, which is on a quest to get its viewer engagement measurement correct. And it's the subject of a column from Caroline O'Donovan on Neiman Journalism Lab. The not quite 2-year-old website is not interested in page views or other metrics already in place across the web that have been found to be unacceptable by advertisers. Upworthy's new metric is called attention minutes. It's supposed to tie together eyeball counting metrics and measurement engagement. Attention minutes are calculated using quote-unquote signals, like length of time a browser tab is open, how long a viewer's video player has been running, and movement of the mouse on the screen. Notes CEO Eli Pariser, the Upworthy method follows a stream of events, and every few seconds it checks if each person on the site is really still paying attention. Promoting the transparency of its work, Upworthy says it plans to release its attention minutes source code in coming months. Next, the Winter Olympics are in full swing, so I thought, let's take a look at some international research issues today. A few weeks ago, we noted Naveen Williams' comment that mobile research provides a terrific way to interact with the illiterate and the poor. That observation was based on Naveen's mobile work in China, and we Skyped with him in Shanghai a couple of weeks ago about his mobile measure research service. He shared various illuminating insights about doing research in the world's most populous country. Naveen, when did you first get into the research business in China?
I came in here in 2008 before the Olympics. I came in with Nielsen. I used to head up their custom research business, and then I was with them for a year before I set out on my own to set up Mobile Measure.
Okay, so you started Mobile Measure in what, 2009?
Yes, 2009.
Okay. How's it different? Not only doing research in China today, but the environment to do research in China today versus 6 years ago.
Okay. I mean, I would describe it as earlier it was around the Wild West, where you did a lot of things, and because you didn't know the ground rules, the clients didn't know what they wanted, and a lot of shoddy research went through the door. And right now, things are getting more organized, clients are getting more demanding, and service providers like us are also providing better value. So I think the market is maturing.
So 5 or 6 years ago, you could sell research into somebody just because they thought they needed to do some research, but they would have very little knowledge about what it was all about.
Yes. Yeah.
And today they're much more educated and they're more pointed in what they want you to do.
Exactly. So now not only that, I mean, one is that the market has moved so forward from 5-6 years ago. I mean, we have seen growths like last year was supposed to be the slowest growth year for China in the last 18 odd years at 7.5. So you can imagine a market so large growing at 10, 12% continuously. So right now they have a huge base. It's a very large market, and obviously that market has demands of insights which are more mature.
Okay. Is most of your business business to business as opposed to dealing with consumers?
Uh, yes, most of it is business to business. So we deal with a lot of boutique and the large agencies, but we also deal directly with manufacturers and brands.
Mm-hmm. Is it hard to retain a Chinese company as a customer once they've done business with you? Because here in the United States, and I think around the rest of the world, it's very much a relationship business. And you develop a comfort level with somebody that you've worked with before. Is it like that in China?
No different here. In fact, most of our clients are non-Chinese, so they are multinational corporations with cultures or management styles and research requirements which are kind of global. So we can talk their language, and it gets easier for us. Local Chinese companies, some of them are very large, very global. It's not the easiest environment to penetrate into, and we
Why is
do.
that? Why is that so? Why is it harder to penetrate those?
One is, I think, culturally there's a lot of difference, and there are a lot of local Chinese market research companies, very good, large local Chinese companies which already have established relationships. So you need to have something really special to get them off that and penetrate your services. The solutions that we have built have become very stable. That is not just because of the years of experience and effort we have put on it, but also the systems and platforms that we are working on have also matured, and we have had the opportunity to mature with them.
What's the key to be successful in market research in China today?
I think offering a service that is stable, and also from our perspective, something different, and that brings insight beyond the regular research they're getting, because there's a lot of research that we can't even compete in. The media, retail, all those are locked down because they are kind of syndicated service. You're fighting for a small part of the budget, so it's very important to be perceived as bringing value to the table and differentiating yourself sufficiently.
Is it hard to differentiate yourself between other mobile research companies there?
No, there aren't really very many people doing what we do. So differentiating is really not a problem. The problem is more we are still in a concept selling phase, because mobile research isn't something that has really been picked up globally. It's not about China. So, and in a lot of ways, a lot of these practices, even if we develop them in China, if they're utilized heavily in other markets, they are brought into the country.
Yeah, that
Uh,
surprises me because the Japanese have been doing a lot of mobile research for well over a decade.
yeah, but they are a very tough market to crack. It's it's they have their own wall out there,
Yeah,
and
I
even
would think of it that way, but my point was I would think the Chinese, seeing what goes on in Japan, would want to adopt a lot of the same techniques and ways of doing research.
yeah, I think it's yeah, that's true, and hopefully that'll happen.
Okay. What's the labor situation like there?
Okay, as the market is maturing, so as I mentioned earlier, it was the Wild West earlier. It was easier to hire. People may not have been trained, but it was pretty easy to train them because the willingness to learn and pick up is very high. But now the requirements of the employees are also rising, costs are rising, and it's hard to get good people and retain them. I think that's a challenge of all businesses, and it's no different here.
Because the standard of living is increasing, and so there's a great demand for good
Exactly.
people.
Exactly. And I mean, all businesses have grown as well.
Yeah, the where you come from in India, there is a huge and terrific reputation for the colleges and universities turning out very, very highly skilled people who are very good at going into the research business, like yourself. Is that at all the case in China?
Yeah, not so in terms of that research is not a highly sought after career or recognized career in China. Not so much in India as well, but yeah, as you
Yeah,
said, but
but in
still there are
India, I guess
enough people doing it.
in India, I was talking really think about statistics and analytics and that sort of thing. Is that not really a hot area in China yet?
Definitely not in hot area, but yes, but they do churn out a good number of engineers and statisticians and
Okay, okay,
but they all may not opt for a career in research.
okay. Last question, because you said that most of your business is with non-Chinese companies who are from elsewhere but have put a foot put their foot into the Chinese market. I'd imagine language is not really an issue, but is it an issue if you want to sell to a Chinese company?
Yes, very important, and that's probably what also may hamper us. But it doesn't matter, even if you're dealing with multinational companies. Operationally, all the executions happen in Chinese. So it's not good enough that you put your foot in the door, but to execute, your team needs to have a local skill.
Our thanks to Naveen for his time and consideration. And as usual, here's an email if you'd like to contact him. By the way, we will release the remainder of our interview with Naveen in a standalone video later this week. That's your Research Business Daily Report, sponsored by Socratic Technologies, whose proprietary tools and methodologies tackle marketing complexities so that you can make more confident business decisions. Have a great research day, and we'll look forward to having you back with us tomorrow.